All right, so here's the robot. It's basically a 6-axis manipulator. Right now it's in Cartesian mode. I'm going to switch it over to robot axis mode to show you the axes real quick. You have rotation at the base, this arm here, this arm here, rotation here, axis number 5, and then final axis 6. So we'll switch it now into Cartesian mode where you're addressing the camera in XYZ, right? So just flatten it out. So basically Z would move it straight up and down. X is back and forth. And then Y would be left and right. And what we're going to execute today is basically take the probe lens through these mug handles all the way to the logo and hit this logo at the end. So I'll walk you through how we go. We'll jog the robot down to a starting position. So we'll set up an opening frame. You can see it here. Turn off the display. So that's going to be our starting frame. So we'll keyframe that. Now we'll line it up to the handles. All right, and now we're just going to X forward right through the handles and set our end frame. If you want to come in and get a nice, as close as you can get of it going through. So we just X forward, and there's our end frame on the logo on the last mug. So we'll set that frame. We'll set a timer, a 5-second timer for it to sit on that frame. And then we'll set another keyframe. We'll just copy the initial keyframe to take it back to 1. So you can see on the controller, there's your basically 3 positions, 2 of which then repeat, so 5 keyframes total. So we'll jog it back. We'll jog it back out. Okay, set it to play, turn on the servos, and hit the green button and watch the magic. So again, the advantage of the robot, you're going to get this move exactly the same every time, very precise, very repeatable, and then it's easy to modify. If the director wants to see it faster, wants to see it slower, it's quick and easy to make those changes. So it's very versatile, very great for product photography. It solves a lot of the common pitfalls that you deal with in product photography, shadows, vibration and stuff like that. By bringing the camera back about 18 inches back from the tip of the lens, you've now eliminated all this mass that would cast shadows or bump into things. Typically you'd be out to here, your rods would be hitting the apple boxes. It would prohibit you from getting that close. With this kind of setup, you get tremendous flexibility as far as what you can do to be able to track through the subject and travel through the landscape, if you will. Here's literally just fast examples like this, and you're just skimming the subject matter by millimeters, sometimes even touching it. It just brings a whole new, it's like you're a jet airplane flying over the props. So going forward and back is very basic, a simple linear move. I'm going to get some other props, some guitars, and show you some different stuff with some circular and spliney moves that we can do with that. All right, so now we have a guitar prop set up, and we're going to do like a circular orbit around, let's say, the bridge, the pickup area. So if you can see on the monitor, the camera monitor here, we're going to basically do this by defining 3 points. We're going to switch the controller to circle mode. We're going to jog the camera out to our first point. Let's try to make a nice big arc. So that'll be our first point.
What's an orbit?
An orbit's basically we're going to focus on a central point and just pivot the camera around that point, and it's going to be very small. We're looking at like maybe a 2 or 3 inch radius.
I thought I needed a giant crane for that.
This is a tiny crane. It's the opposite end of the spectrum. So we'll do insert enter here for this point. We'll jog over to the next point. Frame that up right here. Nice looking right down the barrel of the guitar almost. We'll set that point, insert enter, and then we'll set our third and final point. We'll go even a little more extreme. Here. We'll record that as our third point. And let's jog it back. All right, now that we have the speeds programmed in, it's at the first camera position. Switch it into play, servo on, and hit the start button. And there's your nice smooth orbit. So again, very quick, very precise to set up and execute moves. So as you can see, it's very, very versatile for product photography and gives you just a perspective that you typically couldn't get, and the ease of being able to program moves in and execute moves very simply and easily and effectively.